Okay, so we are rolling. Be very welcome once again to As Above, So Below. Today we have a very important, I'm not going to say special, I feel that it's more important than special, people. Video about the upcoming transit of Saturn in Aries. Uh, yeah. I look, no, I'm tired as I look, okay? I'm feeling it's just as tired as I look right now. And I feel that I'm not the only one. So here is the video in all its possibilities about this transit. I feel that, with me and so many other astrologers, we have been telling this to people since, I don't know, like 2020, 2019, 2022. And I'm laughing so I don't cry, actually, guys. Yesterday was a terrible day. Sunday was a terrible day. Last week was just awful. My immune system just, shut down. I'm quite sensitive, and I feel that I'm not the only one to what's happening in the world. We have war, famine, and our destiny in the hands of a few people. But just like Jack Kerouac usually like to, and he was a Pisces sun as well. So I like to take inspiration from people who seem to be more vulnerable, but they take that vulnerability and turn it into strength. So as a Pisces myself, I like to think about his quote, "If I do nothing, nothing does." So it is with that inspiration in mind that I'm here today to talk about the crescent uprising of the far right in all over the world. And I'm not turning my back on anyone, because I believe that politics is just a way of distracting people, the people, okay? Distracting the people from what is happening. And with this Pluto in Aquarius, come on, we have 20 years to make this right without violence or aggressiveness. That is just what, that is just what these minorities are fed up on. They distract people with war and other stuff. And I'm just so tired. So this last Sunday, there was an election day, and the far right is growing in our country. I understand there are families and people that are feeling that, there is the need for a change, but the change doesn't need to be this way, okay? And these people are not going to change anything because they're just populists, okay? They feed on the fears and the dissatisfaction of people, and they tell them what they want to hear, okay? They tell them like it is. Where have I heard this, okay? Where, okay? So we have to be aware. Fear and violence are not they're not never the solution. And that's why I'm doing this video, okay? So I've done my homework, and surprise, surprise, every time we have Saturn ingressing in or entering the sign of Aries, we have an uprising of nationalism and intolerance in the world. Okay, there's no mistake in here. There are some people who say that Jesus Christ had his own Saturn in Aries. We don't know, but these are times whenever we have Saturn in Aries, it is time for, for intolerance. Okay, we have so many wars, reformation, I've done the homework, and I've put all of this in perspective, all the data, everything that, to collect several places in history, where, it's all about radicalism and war. Okay, because Saturn deals with discipline, it deals with obstacles, and we only have two options. Option number one is to be disciplined and know exactly who you are and and take responsibility for who you are becoming. Okay, and your desires, and just take responsibility for who you are. Okay. The second one is just unraveling in fear and hate, because you don't know who you are, you just know who you don't like, or you just won't take any kind of accountability for the things that you have done. So you become this spoiled brat or really violent one, and take the the side of the shadow. That's it. You take the shadow side, and you don't do the work. Okay, so option number one, you take responsibility. Option number two, you don't take responsibility, and you project all the responsibility into other people. That's what is happening. It's not our fault. We cannot do nothing through elections. We can only vote in people who are intolerant. We can only push immigrants from our country. That's what people are saying, that the fault is only in immigration. Come on, people, if it wasn't for immigration, we wouldn't have assured so many jobs in mainly agriculture and other stuff that, Portuguese people won't do. Okay, and it's exactly the same in other people, in other countries. Okay, so right now countries are doing exactly the same thing. There are countries that are taking responsibility, and they're doing things, or trying to do things the right way. And most of them, they are behaving like spoiled brats, and this is like an exact symptom of Saturn in Aries, because Saturn in Aries is just like this. Saturn is just like this father, and is trying to discipline their child, but they won't listen. They are projection. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Okay, Aries is just, they want to be independent, and they want to have new beginnings and being pioneers, but they only know that the only way of doing this is fighting and rebel against something. Okay, so the more you take responsibility for your actions, the better this will work out for you. Okay, mainly if you are or you have a chart with Aries, Libra, a Capricorn, or Cancer. This is going to be good for you to enhance your system and become more of an adult rather than a child. Okay, or a teenager. Okay, that's how Aries behaves, just like a spoiled brat or a teenager. And we cannot forget that Neptune is also in Aries. Uranus is going to be in Gemini, so this means war. The desire to this is heavy, I'm sorry. The desire to be left alone. Okay, so we're having history is repeating itself. This is horrible, but history is repeating himself. And I feel that most people are starting to engage in this loop of hate um, and isolation. And well, if you don't vote the same as me, so I'm going to unfriend you on the internet. I'm not going to speak to you again. So this is just horrible. This is just horrible, and this is exactly what the privileged people want to, is that we stand divided instead of being united with other people. It's just awful. So try to, I'm sorry, something went in my eye. Try to be as cohesive as possible, and try to always keep the conversation rolling, because actually today the sun is entering the sign of Gemini, and it's all about being adaptable and start conversations, and everyone has something to teach you. So be aware and be open to other people. So I'm going to make this kind of this list of things for you to think about, um, historical events that happened during Saturn in Aries. Okay, I'm going to talk also about the last time that Saturn was in Aries, which is a very important thing. Okay, so and ask you where you were during this time. So many believe that the birth of Jesus Christ was during a Saturn in Aries. Makes sense, because he was a part of radical cult. let's be honest. He wasn't the only person who was crucified. There were so many guys who were crucified back in the day. And if you know history, you know there was so many messiahs. You know, just like pick me, I'm the biggest messiah there is, and Jesus Christ was one among them. So it was a special guy. He had people who follow him, just like, you know, we have in Instagram, we have followers. So be very aware during this time of not falling into the trap of cults or cult leaders, because Saturn in Aries is all about that, and it's just disgusting. Okay, mind yourself. So Roman invasions happened as well during Saturn in Aries, when the Persians conquered Jerusalem as well. We have the Fourth Crusade of Christianity, and we have this, during this time, we have an uprising of violence connected to independence and also religion. Okay, so we have this transition, this very interesting transition from Saturn in Pisces to Saturn in Aries, mainly because we're going to be Saturn is going to be in Aries until the September the 1st, and from September the 1st until February the 14th, we're going to be again with Saturn in Pisces. So from February until the 13th of April of 2028, we're going to get back at Saturn in Aries again. So this is like a switch. Okay, after that, already, you know, making a jump into the 15th century. We have King James II in England. It was the last Catholic king there was in United Kingdom, and well, I'm mentioning Scotland and Ireland as well. This guy had this very particular birthmark. They call him Fiery Face, because he had a red birthmark on his face, and he was really a very assertive and aggressive person. So this is quite metaphorical of what it means to have Saturn in Aries, actually. After that, we have, you know, the existence of all the pirates under Elizabeth I's reign. We have Francis Drake. We have the Reformation, you know, Catholics versus Protestants. Already on the 18th century, we have the French Revolution. Once again, everything connected to the head is also important to talk about. We have this King James, this birthmark, and on the 18th century we have Louis the 16th that was killed in the guillotine. Okay, last time Pluto, during the French Revolution, Pluto was making a square. This time it's a little bit more less heavy because we have Pluto making a trine with Uranus. It's not a square. The United States were a newly formed country. After that, on the 20th century, between 1937 and 1940, we had the Second World War. I already talked about this on the Neptune in Aries video. We have the Spanish Civil War. We have Mussolini uprising. We have the Great Purge on the Soviet Union, and of course, the Nazi Party uprising. After that, in 1967 until 1969, we had, of course, the protests against the Vietnam War, okay, that started in 1955. Pluto was making a conjunction with Uranus, so it was, a lot of energy and change at the same time. Robert Kennedy and Martin Luther King were assassinated. It is a curious thing because, Martin Luther had this name after Martin Luther, that was the man that started the Reformation in the reform on the Catholic Church, creating the Protestant Church. After that, we have Che Guevara was captured as well. So we have this kind of capturing what's it called, the idols or the rebels. Okay, there's this thing of capturing symbols. Okay, killing Martin Luther King and killing Robert Kennedy, capturing Che Guevara. There's this energy of capturing the heroes, okay, and making them almost like martyrs. And this happens usually during transition from Saturn in Pisces to Saturn in Aries, okay, because Pisces is the symbol of martyrdom and having all these people killed and all the things that they represented. It's acknowledging that is the end of an era, okay? So from 1996 until 1999 was the last time that Saturn was in Aries. So I'm asking you guys, where were you from April 1996 until February of 1999? I know where I was in school. And yeah, my sister was born. She was born already with Saturn in Taurus, but there was, so many things. Once again, they took away from the world an authentic icon, and I'm talking about Princess Diana. She got her divorce, but she didn't live enough to enjoy her life, so she divorced and died in a very short space of time. We had the euro currency launched in 1999. Also, we had the war in Iraq as well, and we had this kind of asking for forgiveness. In New Zealand, the government agreed to pay compensation to the Maori for all the distress that they had during the 19th century. And there was, Frederick Leclerc, the former prime minister in South Africa. He also paid an apology for the apartheid, and we had several things happening in the world that were all about respecting the identity or taking away one's identity. So be aware of the things. We didn't have this uprising of the far right, but we had actions from our governments that were similar to this. Okay, so this is a time where the rebels are fighting for their independence, and there's only two ways to do it: the right and the wrong. Okay, and during this time, it seems like the individual comes first, the individual or their convictions. So this is an opportunity actually for people to identify themselves with a more realistic way of being. It's not that you just give up of your dreams or the way that you were, but you become a little bit more realistic about who you are, your goals or ambitions. So take this time to become stronger and wiser, and have the courage to be who you want to be. Okay, and this is not, just I'm not asking you to put on a guerrilla mode and just confront everyone and just lash out at everyone that you know. It's not that I feel that it's what's happening with people are just really angry. They're the you know the cost of living is just absurd by this time. And I'm not even talking about war in Gaza or what's happening in Ukraine and Russia, and of course the whole world. Okay, this has been an event after an event after an event. We had the death of the Pope. We have Passover. We had a blackout in Portugal and Spain and other countries. We had all these conversations around Gaza, and people just whistling and just pretending that it is not happening. And we have all these kind of energy going on that we Europe, we don't know who to trust, and we don't know who are our allies, and should we be more concerned with our independence and armament, and who are our leaders. And that's it's just too much. And people are frightened, and they consider their own vote was a protest, but it's not directed at this is they are in my opinion, it's not directed at the right direction. But here's the thing, it's not directed the right direction, it's not the right aim. And why not? Because we don't have leaders. We have leftovers from the from the Pacific Revolution that we had. We have leftovers of the left. They didn't behave properly, and there's no for 15 years we have people are just tired of what happened, so they're using their vote as a protest, but they're voting in the right wing and in populists. So that's bad. Okay, and I've been observing in Romania. It happened is exactly the same. They lost, but happened exactly the same. So it's bad. It's bad. So we need new blood. I'm saying this since, I don't know, 2022, 2023, when I made a video or several videos about the extremes, and about people being extremists and being nationalists. And everything is happening all over again. People do not learn from history, and this is just plain sad. Okay, it doesn't, it seems like people, and during Monday I was like, okay, what happened? What happened is, I know the reality. I know I'm a very lucky person. I'm not rich in a conventional way. I'm rich in health and family and friends and knowledge. And what should I do to to make reality work for me? Because this is just sad. People just going against each other, and not supporting each other, and it's just sad. So if you get out of your house to vote in these people, I feel that something very wrong is going on. But it's predictable. As I said, it's predictable. The uprising of the right, the urgency of creating a new system. I hope this is the urge of creating a new system, because in the past it just didn't work as well. That's it. Dictatorships never work. Okay, guys. So this is a perfect time to confront our fears and limitations, and knowing what you want, and facing yourself with external obstacles and thinking, why are they appearing in your life? Are they, the manifestation of your inner fears? Why are you avoiding confrontation? Are you avoiding competition or leadership? Okay, this is one of the things when people get too scared, that the things they desire actually happen. Okay, but the more important thing is being, more cautious, because Saturn is about being cautious, and be less impulsive, and limit your self-loathe or sabotage, or being, or projecting your frustration to other people. Okay, because if you do that, you're just going to be on a downward spiral for destruction, your own destruction, and perhaps people, and the destruction of people who are next to you. Okay, so this has been like 25 years, almost 26, of just, just whining and crying about Saturn and in Aries. I used to be, it's not I used to be, last week I was in a better mood, I know. But this is just, well, this is reality. Okay, let's not, sugarcoat things. This is what is happening right now. So what can, what, we already know the sky. Neptune is in Aries, Saturn is in Aries, Uranus is going to be in Gemini in July. So is there any aspect that can help us to sustain some kind of hope, and and be ready for a change? Yes, there is. Okay, there's a phrase from Marcus Aurelius. I don't know if from Marcus Aurelius, but if it is, it's just an amazing one, that says, waste no more time arguing about a good man, or actually a good woman should be one. This is something that could have been said by Martin Luther King. Be the change that you want to see the world. This is also, this is really about Saturn in Aries. Okay, no doubt about this. Besides this desire to be the change that you want to see in the world, or to be a good man or a good person, because almost, almost every time this kind of populist movements, they gather themselves about around religion to conquer people. It's just like, I'm just God sent to the people and stuff like that. It's a bunch of bullshit. And people will not buy that. I hope not. Okay. Instead of trying to define what is a God-sent person, or if you have morals, just, act on them, instead of trying to, censor everyone around you, because, this thing works like censorship. And we already seen that in Portugal, actually. Okay. So I'm all going to keep you posted if you are actually interested in what's happening in Portuguese politics. I'm not an expert, but I'm a citizen, and that's enough. Okay. So what I'm going to say, there's a hopeful event. There's this kind of, people call it a mini triangle or a magic triangle. It doesn't matter. It is kind of something that is offering the world the possibility of end this colonialist order. Okay, it's a quite volatile thing, aspect, but it's also a stabilizing one, because it makes a conjunct between Saturn and Neptune, and then we have Pluto in Aquarius that is making a sextile with both of them. So mind yourself, this is all fire in air, that's why it's volatile. But at the same time, because it's a sextile and we have a trine between Uranus and Pluto, and then we have this conjunction between Saturn and Neptune. This is volatile, but it's the same. But at the same time, it allows us to process these kinds of changes. So just like I was saying, this is an air cycle. Okay, it ends. It ends this time and era where matter was over all over. It was over the mind. It matters most matter it matters what's the word, it matters uh, was the main thing, was matter, was exploring the earth. And today we're trying to switch that paradigm and making the minds over matter at all times. Okay, so you can feel that the world has become progressively desensitized. It's not the word that I want to say. It's a heartless world. But we have to remember that also during the Industrial Revolution, the world was a cold one as well, cold-hearted as well, and we had so many things. Yes, we got, there are so many systems that ended, slavery and so forth, but the privilege kept being seen on the same places at the same times, and the symbols of the people kept on being the same people that had privilege and had the time and space to make something for others. Okay, so this is a triangle that is very important. Saturn, we're going to see Saturn, until 2028, making this, provoking the uprising of nationalism and trade wars, and is going to increase inequality because the extreme right is trying to isolate isolate the countries through these trade wars, and so this is going to lower the living standards of everyone. And because justice is not going to work, people are organizing themselves in vigilante groups. In Portugal and the rest of Europe, we have the phenomena of people occupying houses just like the 70s, and they're organizing these vigilante groups with with sometimes former policemen, or I don't know, with security, I don't know, but they are trying to take on justice by their own hands, and this is happening all over the world because the system has failed and people are trying to get into another system, but they are voting in old ways. So this cannot work, and people are going, I hope they're going to see that, because we have 20 years of not repeating the French Revolution all over again. It's just crazy. Okay, so the question for you guys is, the question is not the question, it's the message for you is to be focused, and be focused not only on your identity, who you want to be, but also to be very aware not to project yourself into others and making everything other people's fault. Okay, that's it. The other ones have the privilege. I do not have the power. Yes, you do. Yes, you do have the power. Okay, yes, you do. And the power comes from making yourself happen in the world, even if you think it's just, well, a crazy ass video just like I'm doing right now. It matters. Okay, everything matters. You are making a difference in your life and in other people's lives, so it matters. Okay, so after this I'm going to tell you what is the main the main thing, and depending on your charts. I was going to tell you to look up in your chart and just watch your sun sign and the house where this Saturn in Aries fall. I'm going to give you an example. I have Mars. I'm sorry. I have Aries on my 11th house. So this is going to fall on my ambition sector and on my what's the name, on my my peers, my friendships, my networking. So instead of wanting lots of people around me, and this is particularly true because Saturn is going to hit the 11th house for Gemini. I have a Gemini sun rising. So instead of having lots of people around me, it's like thinking about my ambitions and set boundaries for people who just want to be with me. So this is just setting boundaries and having quality over quantity. Okay, so check your sun sign and check your sun rising if you want to. And of course, where is the house where the Saturn in Aries is falling on your chart? It's very important. Okay, so I have a young girl smoking over there looking at me just like I'm completely crazy, but that's it. I'm talking to you guys. So we have Saturn. Let's start for first and foremost saying that it's going to hit with a little bit more strength Aries, Cancer, Libra, and of course Capricorn, because you are the cardinal sign, so you're going to feeling this the most. So Saturn in Aries, this is going to hit your first house. What is your responsibility in the world, and do you take responsibility for who you are in the world? Okay, who are you? Who do you always want it to be? This is the main question for you. Okay, so lots of things to chew upon, dear Aries, because Neptune is also in Aries, and I've been through that. Come on, Pisces, we've been through that since 2023. I'm glad this is almost over. This is a tiresome transit. The next is going to be Taurus, but Taurus is also had Uranus in Taurus since 2022. 2018. So this is a tiresome transit, believe me, but it's a necessary one for you to fully understand who you are and where you're going. Okay, so Taurus, Saturn is hitting your 12th house. So what dominates your unconscious? What are your true fears? Do not be controlled by your fears, because Saturn is out there to get you. So this is a time where you want to be in a cocoon, or you feel that you don't have the energy to do certain things. So that's why you must go deep under and just make your own shadow work, with help or without help. Okay. After that, we have Gemini. This is going to hit the 11th house, just like I told you before, guys. What are your ambitions? Are you being realistic with your ambitions? You have to set boundaries as well, and choosing quality over quantity. There are some friends of yours that they do not matter as well as you think, and perhaps there's are people who are not they do not meant well. Okay, perhaps you think they do because you always were you got used to them around you, but they are not meant to be on your life any longer. You're going to understand that until 2028. Okay, after that, we have Cancer. What are the areas in your work that you need to think a long term? Okay, leadership. Are you willing? Are you ready to step up and be the captain of your life? Okay, this is going to have consequences, because perhaps you're going to have a little bit more work, more responsibility, less time in family. You need to balance this up on your life, okay? After this, we have Leo, and this is meant to give you a broadening horizon into your life, okay? Do you want your events in your career? Do you want to take on a new path, professionally speaking? There are going to be some obstacles, and this is for you to test your faith in yourself, okay? After this, we have Virgo. This is going to hit on your 8th house. So take care of your finances and secure your future. So this is really for you to take care, not, share everything with everyone, and just be very careful with your future, your future in financially speaking, okay? After that, we have Libra. Oh, and there can be issues around, sexuality, because having Saturn on your 8th house, it's a little bit more difficult for you to let go or to share yourself with and other people, okay? Mainly if it's, a relationship, serious relationships, or sexual relationship, or, a romantic one, whatever. After that, we have Libra, and this is going to fall in your 7th house. So the aim in here is to be realistic about your relationships and think about your needs in first place. Not other people's needs, not what you wish to happen in that relationship. Nope. The things that, need to happen for you to feel fulfilled and happy inside the relationship. Okay? So that's it. That's it. Under this thing, you can marry or just cut people from your life. It's just how it works. After that, sorry, I've been a little bit under the weather last week or so. Yeah, last 2 weeks, really under the weather. Scorpio, this is going to hit your 6th house, so work and health, working in your health. Be better with your routines. Do not work your ass off until burnout. So just, take your time, because you're going to feel a little bit tired, the next 3 years. After that, we have Sagittarius, and this is going to hit your 5th house. This is for you to explore and take a little bit more serious your creative side, or start a family, or just being long-term romantically with someone, or just, being alone. It can be all these things, but this means that it's going to take seriously your relationships, your creativity, and if you have a child, the relationship that you have with that child, okay? After this, we have Capricorn. It's going to hit the 4th house. So this means that you're going to have a different approach to emotions. It's going to be a little bit more deep and heavy, and perhaps you're going to need to ask for help, or other people in your family are going to ask for your help. This can happen, but this is for you to deepen your understanding about your own emotions. After that, we have Aquarius, and this is some serious shit about your mindset, because this is going to hit your 3rd house. Can be connected to academic goals, can be about diving into a new master's degree. This is about your mindset and the way that you communicate and think. Okay, that's it. And finally, but last but not the least, we have Pisces. It is going to hit the 2nd house, so don't spend your money like crazy. Okay, work hard and save. Okay, save all that you can on your bank account. Okay, because it's going to test your long term, the way that you secure yourself in the world. So mind your own business. Don't buy shit every chance that you can. Okay, that's it, guys. This was a long one, 44 minutes. Yep, but a necessary one. This is the last exciting thing that I wanted to talk about because this is just awful. Nobody likes to talk about Saturn in Aries, but it is necessary. Okay, the good thing and the good news is that we're going to have this trine, okay, connecting Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto. Actually, Saturn and Neptune is all they're all in the same position, but they're going to give you a little bit of optimism, for people to be a little bit more open-minded, to have different ideologies. Let's hope, okay, because I'm just fed up where what people are trying to do with their votes. There are some secrets that are going to be revealed as well, okay. And this is a radical change, but it gives us the opportunity to integrate as it goes, okay. So that's it. I hope this has been useful. If you have any questions or comments, you just can write on the comments below, and that's it. I hope you have a wonderful week, and that's it. Over and out.